In question number 3, we've been given the max point at 3, 9, which I've drawn here. Okay, we've been given a min point at 6, 3, which is drawn here. And we're being asked to find all the parts of that graph and also write the equation of that graph. So we're going to start with the amplitude. So with A, what we can do is take the distance. So distance is the difference between the high and low point, and the amplitude is going to be half of that. So we're going to end up with an amplitude of 3. So if I kind of sketch this graph, I can see just visually that the max at 6, min at 3, the middle is going to be 6, and the amplitude will be 3. So the vertical displacement of 6 we can find as well from the graph. We can also find that as a position. It's an average position of the high point and the low point. So the average, we add them together, divide by 2, and we get a displacement of plus 6. Okay, so the position is at plus 6. The next part here is going to be the period. The period is going to be the horizontal distance. Okay, this distance here represents half the period. If I want to find out the period, I want a distance, so I'm going to subtract. And then since I want double that distance, I'm going to times that by 2. So I can see that my period is 6. If my period is 6, then the b value is going to be 2 pi over 6. I'm just going to leave it as 2 pi over 6 because this form I can see the period right in the coefficient. Lastly, I want the horizontal shift. Now this, we've been asked for a sine graph, and the horizontal position is this point marked in green. Okay, so this position here is going to be my horizontal shift that I'm going to use. It's the first positive position for the shift. Now we can kind of figure this out a few different ways. So one way is if we know that the min point happens again at 0, we know it's going to be halfway between 0 and 3 or at 1.5. We could also use the period. So if we know the period is 6, each quadrant is going to be 1.5. And we can use the quarter period and the quadrant shifts, and I can go backwards 1.5 from that the max position to get to the middle, and that's going to give us our horizontal shift that way. So I'm going to call our C value at 1.5. So the position is at positive 1.5. So once we have all those parts, we're just going to write the equation. It's going to be y equals my amplitude. It's a sine function. It's going to be the b value of 2 pi over 6. The horizontal shift is going to be positive 1.5. The vertical shift goes on the outside of plus 6, and that's our middle line.